in advance of his 42-1 30 for 30 and say to Buster Douglas, thank you for helping me not study that day, Buster Douglas?
Thanks. You're welcome.
No, you don't hold it against me that it was at the University of Michigan, though, right, Buster?
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, whoa, but that's good. We're good. We're good.
Okay, that's very good. So what are your recollections today? What would you say if somebody did not somehow know what had happened to you? What would you tell them about your story on that night against Mike Tyson, Buster?
I probably would just tell them it was a great moment. You should have been there. Should have seen it.
Well, I guess so. Been there all the way in Tokyo. What do you remember about that day when you woke up that morning, Buster?
Feeling pretty excited. You know, a little anxious, but relaxed and confident. Felt confident, like it was going to be a good day.
Hmm. And driving to what was it like driving to the Tokyo Dome that morning? What was going through your mind?
Well, you know, it was a little more excitable than any other fight because it was a heavyweight championship, and it was my second shot at the title, and I felt really good throughout the whole course of the training, other than the passing of my mom, but everything else was going really well.
Well, if I do recall, you know, your mom, Lulu Pearl, passed away 23 days before the fight, and many of your folks in your camp were saying you shouldn't fight this fight because you were still grieving.
No, they didn't tell me that. They didn't say that to me, but they would ask me how I felt. I told them I felt good. I was ready to go, even more determined, you know, because we talked before she passed. And I knew that would have not made her feel good. That I was unable to continue because of her passing. I knew she was all right, and she wanted to make sure I was all right. She was like that with me and my brothers. You know, looked after us, man. And I know it was me just being strong for her as well.
Were you at all afraid going in that ring, Buster? Because everybody who was fighting Tyson those days had some look in their eyes, and I'm wondering if you had.
It was like no more than any other fight. Well, it was a little more intense than any other fight because of the heavyweight championship. But other than that, it was a normal thing where you don't let it overwhelm you, where you can't perform. You know, I've been in the game long enough to know that. You know, and I wouldn't allow that to happen. You know, even though it was Mike Tyson, I still remained relaxed. You know, because I believed in my abilities, and I had a great training session. So I was pretty confident. Then I was pissed too. So
what do you mean you were pissed?
I was upset, man. Everything that was going on in my life was kind of in chaos, and I knew that it would have to be something special on the other end because it was like every day, man, something was the former ring was another catastrophe. Another disaster, you know, it was like, and I just seen through it like this had to be my time because it's like every day it seemed like it was something new, you know, to get upset about or get disappointed, you know. But I stayed focused and maintained.
Well, what happened? What was other things going on in your life as people might see?
Well, you know, like for example, maybe my wife was at odds. You know, we ended up separating. You know, and then. You know, just things of that nature, you know, family squabbles and stuff. But, you know, it was just, you know, any other time that I was in training camp, it used to be a smooth training camp. But this time where I felt really focused and confident that it was going to be a great day, you know, it was like every other day it would seem like it was something else, a little nag that would come up. But, you know, I seen through it and just stayed focused. But, you know, the biggest blow, of course, was my mom passed. But that just made it even, you know, more realistic and maybe more determined to stay focused, keep my eye on the prize.
Buster Douglas here on the Rich Eisen Show. 42-1 premieres Tuesday at 9 Eastern Time on ESPN, co-directed by my good friend Jeremy Schaap. Buster, were you aware that nobody gave you a shot? I mean, and if so, how? How did that creep in?
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. That was obvious. I mean, you know, because he was a destroyer, you know, and it was like if he wasn't decapitating people, you had no chance against this man. So I know how everybody felt about it, but I just maintained and believed in myself and my abilities.
Well, I mean, you got a good story of somebody coming up to you and saying you had no shot, like directly to your face. You got anything good on that front? Anything stand out?
That was every day, man, especially at a New Year's Eve party. It was like, oh, my gosh.
What do you mean?
You know, it was like, well, you know, this is Buster Douglas. He's fighting Mike Tyson next. Really? Oh, my man. Oh, my gosh. I mean, it was one girl at the one party that I was attending, and she was like looking at me kind of, you know, just looking at me, and I was like, what's up? What's happening? I walked up to her, and she said, man, you must be desperate. I said, what? You must be desperate for some money to be fighting Mike Tyson? I was like, oh, wow, you know. But that's how it was. You know, it was just, like I said, that he wasn't taking somebody's head off or took somebody's head off. He had no chance against this man in anybody else's eyes. That's how I seen it. But I was confident. I would just laugh and just, you know, shrug my shoulders and keep it moving.
Do you have any relationship with Mike today, Buster Douglas, at all?
Nah, no.
What would you say to him if you saw him?
I would say, what's up? Like, the last time we were together, which was a couple of years ago, just outside of D.C. at autograph signing. It was pleasant conversation. I knew how he'd been doing. He said hanging in there, you know. It was just a general conversation. But that was the best time that we ever spent together since the fight, you know, conversating and stuff. Other than that, you know, we haven't really been around each other.
Do you wish you had fought him instead of Evander? Obviously, we know back in the day you were pissed at him and Don King for contesting the results based on an 8th round knockdown.
That was a mess. But, you know, I have no regrets, you know. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know, but I'm just glad that I'm healthy and feel my life is in good shape, and I'm moving on.
Okay. What'd you think of the Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury match fight out here in Los Angeles?
That was a good heavyweight fight. They battled, man. They came in some good shape, and they gave it their all. Fury put up a good fight. You know, but Deontay, man, that guy stayed focused, man. He didn't slack. He got his opportunity late in the fight, and he took advantage of it and won. He pulled it out. Because he was definitely down on those cards. You know, he was going to lose if we would have went to the end of the 12th round because Fury was doing a great job of boxing and keeping him at bay. Kept his hands moving and his feet moving, but he just got caught up, and Dante got him. You know, maintained it. Deontay showed a lot of poise. You know, he maintained his focus and got him in the end when his opportunity presented itself.
So do you think Fury got the benefit of the doubt getting a count with him clearly being out, even though he got up Undertaker style? Buster, what do you think?
No, you know, the count, you know, here we go with that count again.
That's right. I know.
But, you know, the count is the count. You know, he beat the count, you know, so that's all he can do. He did what he's supposed to do. He listened, and that's the only official count he can go on is what the referee says. And he got the count. He got up before the referee counted to 10, and, you know, he kept trying to fight. But he went out as a warrior. I tell you, it was a great show. Good heavyweight fight, man. I was glad to see it.
Yeah. Do you think the heavyweight division's back, Buster?
Definitely. Okay. We got some interesting things coming up now. So I'm seeing what's getting ready to happen with this mix now. The ball's back in the other champion's corner now, Joshua. So we'll see what happens.
So on 42-1 premiering Tuesday night at 9 Eastern time on ESPN, we noticed you went back to the Tokyo Dome. Is that the first time you went back there?
Yeah, that was interesting. Got to walk around downtown Tokyo all over and stuff. It was pretty interesting. I see where they built it up, too. Now they got an amusement park beside the Tokyo Dome.
Well, I mean, let's call that the amusement park Buster Douglas built. I mean, let's just go for it right there. I mean, so what was going through your mind as you walked into that building where your life changed?
I was like, man, is this really getting ready to happen? You know, a lot of questions, man. Like, should I really be here? You know, who am I? I don't know. Oh, Buster Douglas. There's a lot of things going on in the old mind there.
Well, Buster, thanks for the time. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing this whole story. That was a remarkable day in the Tokyo Dome. I'll never forget where I was watching it. That was unbelievable. You got me up. You got everybody up and freaking out. So
Thanks, man.
I appreciate you joining.
Well, thanks for having me on your show. You got a great show, man. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Buster. I appreciate that. Right back at you. That's Buster Douglas calling in from Columbus, Ohio.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.